I'm Sheila. I'm 53 years old. I just got married 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years November. I have a son named Sam who just turned 20. I work at Benchmark Bank. I've been there for 5 years now. I'm Senior Vice President. I get to go out and bring in the business, so my job is about building relationships. I have a great skill for connectivity. Being the oldest of 6 kids and having a hand in taking care of them at age 9, that was something that I resented my mother for as a child. But today, what I know is I have great leadership skills, and I have no doubt it comes from that, being a leader at such a young age. My abuse started when I was 4 or 5. It's interesting how abuse can affect memories. You don't get to choose which memories you keep. I have thought my whole life that I never had a birthday cake, that I never had a birthday party. I remember the house that we moved into. I can see it right now. It was in Austin, Texas. I don't remember a whole lot about that house. What I remember is my bedroom. I remember a 45 record player. I remember my bed, and I remember my father being in it. My father was an alcoholic, so when I think about the age that it started and the age that my father left, I feel like I was molested by him around 500 times. That just became the norm. I was very good at pretending I was asleep. I knew that it wasn't okay and I knew that it wasn't right, but I didn't want to be the one that it was happening to. And if I told somebody, what does that mean? Where would I go? What would happen with my brothers and sisters? I mean, I don't know. When I became older and I got tired of taking care of kids and not being a teenager and not doing all the things that teenagers do, I became pretty defiant. Now my dad's gone. I want to do things my friends are doing and my mother needs me to babysit. So I fight with my mother all the time. And now I am just a little hellraiser, to be honest with you. So my mother sets it up so that I'm going to go live with my father. I think it's going to be okay. I'm a teenager now. I'm not a kid. And one day I came home from school. My dad had been home all day and he had been drinking, I could tell. And he walked in and he put his arm up against the door and he looked at me, and I knew what was going to happen. He sat me on my bed and he created a pallet on the floor. He threw me down on the pallet, face down, shoved my head in the pillow. And that was probably the worst night of my life. My best friend lived across the street and she was knocking on the door as my father was violently raping me. She was saying, "I know you're inside. Why aren't you answering the door?" She was right there. She was right there on the other side of the door, and I knew then I was going to tell. I almost felt like I was the bad person. My dad's in jail because of me. My siblings loved my father. They loved me. They looked up to me. I took care of them most of my life, but that was their dad. And to believe what had happened to me was painful for them. The last place I wanted to go was home, and so I went into the foster home. And it was not a good place. The lady that ran the foster home had a son, and he was so nice to me. And for the first time, I did not feel ugly. But unfortunately, he took advantage of that. The bad part about repeating that story is just how you feel about yourself and who you think you are, and that you're so dirty and so ugly. Even though it's not your fault, the thing that happened to you is so dirty. And when you have to share that with somebody, you feel dirty and you feel ugly. And it takes something away from you every time you have to tell it. It's easier for me to tell you what happened when I was a teenager, even though I was raped by my dad. But the little girl part's hard. I love looking at those pictures. I love seeing myself smile, because that is who I am today. I wish that someone had been there for her. I'm happy that I'm here with you today. I'm thankful that I'm here. I'm thankful that I can tell my story to you. And I'll be so thankful if it can help a lot more kids not have to go through what I had to go through. I choose love. In spite of all of that abuse, I have a love bigger than life. I love people. I'm very successful. I'm strong. I have a great connectivity with people. I am lucky. I am lucky that my life is good. I am not lucky that I can talk to you today and I still hurt. But for those that aren't, I am so glad there's the center. I'm so glad the center is educating people. I'm so glad that there are so many resources and there are so many people to look out for that 9-year-old that doesn't know, because I am sure there are plenty. My childhood was dark. It was really, really dark. But once I decided that I would decide what hurt me, my future became bright. And I always wanted to be more than I was destined to be. Always. I did not want to be that damaged, ugly, dirty girl that I thought I was. And so, I'm not.